What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Joseph, and welcome to Fiction and Flow. Today I want to talk to you about the movie The Flash. As you can see the poster right here, I got a chance to get an early preview of The Flash. I saw it last week, and I'm going to give you my honest review. One of the things I really enjoyed about the movie was its plot. The Flash takes its plot from the very popular graphic novel, Flashpoint. In that particular storyline, Barry is really just thinking about his mom and just wishing that she was still around, and he sets off on this mission to go back in time to stop her from dying, from Reverse Flash killing her. So he does that in actuality. He saves his mom, she's with him, but it changes everything else in the course of events. And so the movie kind of takes, it's loosely based off of that graphic novel. So one of the things that, aside from the plot, that I really enjoyed is all of the action. Like most of the action scenes in the movie were spectacular. Like the running around, the fighting, and then they have all the explosive action coming from everything the Flash is doing, especially when he meets the other Flash from the other universe, which you've probably seen in the trailer.
If I can't get back.
One of the next things that I really enjoyed about the movie are all the cameos. So, hands down, just like how Dawn of Justice kind of was about Batman and Superman, but Wonder Woman stole the show, the same thing happened in this movie with Supergirl. She is like the best thing in this movie, to be quite honest with you. Like Supergirl steals the show. Like every scene she's on, her action, her storyline is great. They did change it up from the Flashpoint story arc, where in Flashpoint, Superman did come to Earth, but the government found him and they kept him like underground, away from the sun. And so when he's like very skinny and frail, so when they finally let him out, he just goes ham and destroys everything, right? And that's the same thing with Supergirl. So I like the twist in the storyline. That was a very good way that they took their spin on this particular character, right? From the original story arc. Another positive point from the movie is all the cameos. So obviously from the trailer you've seen, which will get everybody hyped, we have Michael Keaton as Batman, because in this alternative timeline, Michael Keaton became the Batman. So we have Ben Affleck at the beginning. You know, he's that from the Justice League era, that time point. But then when they're in this other universe, you see that Michael Keaton is the Batman, and he steals it again. He's back to his old ways. Everything about him, how he like plays the character, it's like he never stopped being Batman. So once again, kudos for the Flash movie for putting him in there. It was a perfect casting, and Michael Keaton did his thing. It was just ideal, perfect. I loved every minute of it. There are also some other cameos, and I won't spoil it for you, but there is another Batman that appears. So once again, we have Ben Affleck Batman, we have Michael Keaton Batman. There's another one. Only thing I can say is not the Batman. So it's not that one, because that's like a different like timeline. But there is another Batman that appears in the movie. And I won't spoil it, but you just got to go see it for that point. And there is what I call like CGI hologram cameos. So this is also DC's way of kind of bringing in the multiverse. This is their version of the multiverse. And when they kind of get to those nexus points in time, they show different Earths, right? And DC has also been doing this for a long time. They kind of call this Elseworlds, or sometimes in their crisis events, where they have all these different Earths where they show you what happened. So that is brought up in this movie, and you get to see different Flashes, different Batmans, and different Supermans from different universes. So they're not really there. They're all like CGI hologram cameos, which is pretty cool. I wish it would have been the real people, but some of them can't make that a reality. But it's good to see a lot of fan-based characters or fan-based ideas of who will play these characters in these cameos. So that part of the movie I did also really enjoy. I can't tell, like I said, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it is a good thing to see those different alternatives of who could have played Superman and Batman. I will give you one hint. They go back and show you like old school Adam West Batman, and they kind of go back and show you old school like the black and white Superman. So those are the only things I'm gonna give away, but there's more, a lot more. So you gotta just check out that part, and trust me, it's worth it. All right, once again, I say this is a quick review of The Flash, no pun intended, but there are some negatives. So those were my pros. Here are some of my cons. And hold on, I don't feel quite right. Something feels off. What's up, my comic commandos? I am back again with another episode of reviews from me. I'm your host, Joe. Welcome to Fiction Flow, and I'm going to talk to you about The Flash. It was an amazing movie. You know how big of a DC head I am. You know, I got to see The Flash. I just saw it earlier last week. It is a great movie. I think you should go see it. It's so many exciting things in it. Anything from like the action to the characters to the plot development. It is perfect. It is the ideal movie. So I have nothing bad to say about it. Everyone did a great job. All the guest cameos were amazing. Even the villain, the main villain. I'm just gonna give it a little quick hint of it. It is like a dark Flash. It's not the regular Flash. It's not Reverse Flash. It's not Professor Zoom. It is Dark Flash. This is a character that is born out of the Speedverse, right? So just like there's always life, it has to be balanced with death. So this, like, a regular death can't catch up to a speedster, so they have to come up with a faster version. So it's the Black Flash, aka Dark Flash, is the main villain for this movie. It is amazing. You have to see it, right? Like I said, the cameos were great. The action scenes were really cool, and I just love this movie a bunch. And like I said, I'm being the #1 DC fan that I am. There was nothing wrong. I love this movie. It was the best thing about it. And I'll tell you more in just a second. So I'm gonna give you all my breakdowns. It's gonna be this is a spoiler breakdown. So I'm gonna spoil everything about the movie. So get ready, sit in. I'm gonna reveal all the big details. So one of the major guest cameos. That was weird. I don't know. Sorry about that. Something feels off. I don't know. Something feels really weird. Anyway, let me get back to finishing up my review. So one of the major villains in it is Dark Flash or Black Flash. So for those of you who are not familiar with this character, he is like the Grim Reaper of the Speed Force. So just like there's always life, there has to be death. And since like regular death can't catch up to a speedster, it was born out of the Speed Force, so a Dark Flash. So that's kind of the major villain who's kind of causing all these anomalies to happen. And of course, Barry has to realize he has to set things right in order for it to work. Like, as much as he wants his mom back, that can't happen because these kind of like canon events, as we learn from Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse, has to happen. So every character has to experience these canon events, otherwise it's going to change the way everything works out. So that's it for me as far as like just giving you some little bits and pieces of what's going on with the movie. But as far as like, once again, the cons, the Ezra Miller who plays the Flash, like, I didn't like the way he ran in Justice League. Like, he had this wild way of running, like just kind of like throwing his arms all out and just looking like, to me, kind of silly. He does that in this movie too. I was hoping they were going to fix that, but that's something I'm still just not happy with. I don't like the way it looks. It's not done right for me. Another con is that like there's some moments where I know Flash is kind of like silly, can be a jokester, but there were just too many jokes that I was just like, it didn't hit with me. Like, it felt like they were trying too hard with these jokes. And I was just like, I wish they would have left that alone or just made the jokes more mild. That would have made the movie a little bit more better. It would have taken it a little bit more seriously to me. So the final thing is how Ezra Miller plays the Flash. Like, I understand in Justice League, it was kind of like, I want to say year one Flash, right? Doesn't know what's going on. He hasn't really learned how to use his powers, trying to figure everything out. However, in this movie, I don't know how much time has truly passed, but he still plays it kind of awkwardly. He comes off as a like ADHD, socially awkward person. And I'm like, that's not the Flash I'm used to. I know it's a different take. They're trying not to copy the CW Flash, which I love 100%. But this take of the character, I don't really like as much. So that's kind of just my 2 cents of what I think as far as what was not really as good with the movie. But I will say this, if you are a DC fan or if you're a Flash fan, go see the movie. If you're kind of on the fence and not sure, I would wait. Like I say, there's a lot of great positive things. I want to say all the cameos, the action scenes are pretty good, but there's something that's lacking. I left it feeling like there was something that was missing that I wanted that I didn't get. And I don't know quite what that is yet. So I may have to see it another time just to kind of pinpoint that exact thing. But overall, it's a decent movie. So once again, if you just want to see it or want to enjoy it, go ahead and check it out. But if you really like, you know what, I'm not so sure, you'll probably be better to wait versus going to it right now. But overall, a decent movie. And there's an end credit scene that's also pretty good too. So all of that stuff made it kind of worthwhile. All right, that's been my opinion of The Flash. and I'll catch you next time. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about it, if you've seen it or if you plan on seeing it. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like. And if you really like it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel to know when new content drops just like this. And until next time, peace. What's up? If you don't have it, you are truly missing. What's up? We are talking about fiction team flow. What's up? If you don't have it, you are truly missing. Fiction team flow.